Today's topic is something I've seen from both sides of the coin. Let me explain it to you. Here in the United States, my algorithm shows me a different kind of video. And there's a lot of content about. Basically, the gist of the American red pill is, American women aren't any good because they're too masculine, so the way to go is to leave the United States and go to places where you're celebrated, where your money is celebrated, where your looks are celebrated. And so here in the United States, this thing called passport growth is trending, which is a movement of American men who get their passports and go to other countries to pick up women. And it's not just about picking up women, okay? These guys actually find wives, seriously. So, that's the American angle, and nowadays Brazil is the country of the moment. It used to be Colombia and Thailand, but both countries have been, how can I put this? They've already been picked over. And what do I mean by picked over? A lot of people have already gone there and worn out the product, like it's already pretty messed up. And Colombia is having kidnappings now, like when Americans come here. Man, Medellin used to be cool for the American passport brothers, and apparently the hot topic is Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, and Sao Paulo. So, man, I combined this information with my own life experience, people I met along the way, and then I discovered this gringo pill thing. What is gringo pill? Gringo is the following. Brazilian women, especially from cities like Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo. Gringo pill is the idea that getting yourself a clueless foreigner resets your mileage. So who are these women? They're women who've been around the block, women in their late 20s, late 30s, who've reached a certain point in life. They know that in their own market they're not going to get anything, either because they've already slept with everyone and are treated like leftovers, or there's that thing of, oh no, I just haven't found the right man yet. So what happens then? They settle, which is like, how can I say the word settle in Portuguese? It's when you want champagne, but you settle for cheap cider. That's the verb settle, S-E-T-T-L-E. I forgot the exact word in Portuguese, but you get what I'm saying. So, man, these women who've been around in Brazil, they end up being with some clueless foreigner. And this is happening more and more in our circles. And I see that both sides are fooling each other. Why? On the foreigner's side, man, the foreigner who goes to Brazil looking for a woman means he's a loser in his own country. Period. Okay? That's it. Period. And the woman who goes for the foreigner, she's just not on the top shelf at all. And then one thinks he found the woman of his life because, wow, the average woman from Brazil, she's better than the ones here, more feminine, prettier, takes better care of herself, more submissive, with less masculine energy. And on the other side, the Brazilian woman finds a Prince Charming, thinks the guy is Prince Charming, because he has a better situation than the guy she used to hook up with. Back in Brazil, a financial situation, because his money is worth 6.3 times more than ours. So any foreigner earning minimum wage is already making about 20,000 reais a month, which is way above what the average Joe in Brazil makes. So, it's one side fooling the other. But this whole gringo pill thing is getting more and more common in Brazil, especially in cities like Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo, especially among women in classes A and B, and C of women. Why I say ABC? Because classes A, B, and C speak English. And within these A, B, and C classes, you have to include the women from the job. Okay? Why do I mention the women from the job? Because women from the job are class A. They make way more money. If you look at the salary, the monthly income of a woman from the job, that puts her in class A. So, This division of classes A, B, and C includes both family women and women from the job. And the conclusion is, the foreigner PO is there to reset the mileage of Brazilian women who've been around and hit 30 single and don't want to end up as old maids, so they find a foreigner. And usually these relationships are like, they start and they're already engaged. You know, like, bam. It happens really fast. And usually it's a woman. A Brazilian woman with that 1,000-dick stare. You know very well the 1,000-yard stare, also known as the 1,000-dick stare. Usually she's had some cosmetic procedure done. Usually she has a tattoo. Basically, in the vast majority of cases, if you look, it's a woman with this profile from Brazil with some clueless foreign guy with that virgin face, okay? Man, I remember there was this girl, back when I had a fraternity, a mastermind group she hooked up with, like, all the top guys in the whole fraternity, everyone slept with her. Then, out of nowhere, she shows up with a foreigner. Then I said, oh boy. And besides that, she gives coaching to women who want to find a foreigner. Something like that, you know? And man, I thought that was genius. Why? She found a market niche where the end client, which is the woman in her early 30s, not only has more money, but she's also more experienced. And you can only make big profits when your end client, besides having money, is also desperate. Yeah. So it's really interesting. I even recommend for those of you who are into this kind of sociology, check out the channel Red Beard Rants. It's a guy who, man, he's a sex tourist. A sociologist, probably works with something in digital marketing, but he's the expert on Brazil. He's the expert on Brazil here in the United States. And there's another guy, I think his name is Skylar Thompson, who's a guy that was from. He's about 40 years old, retired. He was in the armed forces, retired and went to live in Brazil. And both of them share content about relationships in Brazil, and they have some very similar problems. And it's amazing how the women who go for them are exactly the ones that we, who've been in the game for a while, can spot from a mile away. But for them, man, they're like, wow, what an amazing woman. Damn, a perfect 10, a 9, man, the woman of my dreams. I'd marry her. And then we go check out the girl's profile and see this. Then you open the girl's Instagram and see the pimps, the bookers, following her, and she follows the guy back. That's when I get it, you know? So, it's a fascinating phenomenon I've been consistently noticing, this intriguing intersection of high-mileage women with utterly clueless foreigners, what we affectionately call the Pio Gringo. A new concept in relationships all over Brazil. I hope you guys enjoyed this new video format. I don't know if the audio will turn out well, but it was interesting for a first try. We're in this together.